Oh, testing, testing. Oh, just testing. Refresh YouTube. Oh, and it says live, but it does have the wrong episode on it. So we need to fix that. I don't want to go to that. We are merely testing to get things done right. And then, once we get that done, then we'll move on to something cool. But hold on to your horses. We're just getting started. We've been off for a week. We're a little on the rusty side. Just relax. Everything's gonna be alright. I gotta figure out what episode number we're on. And I think we're on episode 20. Let me just check here. Oh my goodness. There's all kinds of just crazy stuff on YouTube. Let us find out. My channel says that we are on episode 20. So we are going to say episode 20. Diverting to making Ruined Cottage. Well, I just gave away. Let's see. Tonight, we are making Ruined Cottage for printing in 3D. And that's how we're going to save it. If we can actually save it. It doesn't let me save it. Did that make me save it? Let's find out. Wow, Ruined Cottage. And now I heard myself. Excellent. Just making sure. That's how we're going to save it. If we can actually save it. Alrighty then, we did it. We congratulated ourselves because somehow, someway, we did it. And here's the big reveal. Absolutely nothing. Alright, well, tonight we're going to make a special little detour from what we did a week ago because we're only going to be working for this week, Monday and Wednesday. And I am a bit behind on my project for Origin Game Fair. That's going to be middle of June. If you're watching this late, it's 2018. It's a long ways away. No, it's just next week. As I record this, I am running a shortened, abbreviated first half, if you will, version of the classic 3.5 module of D&D Red Hand of Doom at Origins next week. I'm just going to be running the first leg of it, the first chapter, because it's a colossal campaign. And I've been making some various models in this series that has been pertaining to that, but also will be used in the Kickstarter as well. The forest that we made last month, that will be in it. And there'll be the bridge, the suspended bridge or the elevated bridge, that'll be in it as well. So tonight, I need to hustle up and get one thing done tonight so I can get another thing done on Wednesday. And we're going to go in here and go into references. And yep, we got all kinds of references here, but we need to get this one. This is the spoil alert, first encounter of the Red Hand of Doom. And I actually got it from just some off the internet just so I can get a general reference, because what we're going to build tonight is this little simple ruin right here. Very simple little section here that we can print off, but it's important that we get it exactly in the same size as that of the board. So we're going to crop this. I'm in Photoshop right now, if anybody's interested and can't tell. And we're going to crop this thing down so that we are basically seeing just that grid. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so that's a 9 by 9 square. The actual building itself is roughly 4 by, what was that, 6? Yeah, 4 by 6, which can fit. But I want them in sections so that I can collapse the thing and put it in a box real easily. So we're just going to build walls that we can just set up next to each other. It's going to be real easy. But they're going to have windows and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as in, yeah, why not? Let's do it. References, Marauder Attack. We'll call it 1A. And then we're going to go into Max. Actually, first thing we do is we're going to count what I say. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 9 square. I'm just going to check there why, if it's going to let me do that. It sure didn't. I don't know why. Nothing's letting me do that. Interesting. Is it all locked up? Sure feels like it. Don't know why, but don't care. We're going to close this thing out. Or maybe it just crashed on me. Not really sure why it's doing that. That's pretty interesting. Hopefully you guys are not hearing the dinging of this thing. We're going to cancel this out. This is kind of embarrassing. Not sure why that's an issue, but it's gone now. All right, so while we did that, we need something down here so we can have an idea of how big this thing's going to be. First, we want to always go down to Customize Unit Setup. Make sure we're in millimeters. Go to System Unit Setup. Make sure we're in millimeters on both things, because that's how the printers like to work, and that's how we work in. Next thing, we also want to make sure that we're always on faceted, except on top view and bottom view, it's fine. We can do the wireframe like that. But on perspective view, you want it on faceted, so you can see how rugged your model is going to be whenever you bring this thing into your printer. All right, so we're going to center this bad boy up. Just right-click on your Move Transform like we've done before, and just right-click on the arrows to center it up, zero it up. And then here, we're going to quickly do a calculation off screen, because I am not good at converting. I need to know what 9 inches is. 228.6. So we're going to put 228.6, 228.6, and kill these segments because we don't really need them. And then we're going to go into this button right here, which is the material editor. It brings up a very, it might be intimidating, but it is very simple at first. Feature in Max that allows you to apply textures to your models. And I'm just going to do a very simple, I've got V-Ray as a plugin. At least I thought I did, but we're waiting on it to kick in anytime. Yeah, let's do that one more time since it had to think about it. We're just going to pick a V-Ray material. If you're familiar with this, this is just your standard basic run-of-the-line material for V-Ray. As I just want to add a little bitmap here. And then we're going to... come on, baby. Where are we going? All right. Back one. Reference. Down to the M's. The M's. That's the one we want. That's the one we made. Now we apply it. It's this little button right here. It looks like a little... I always thought it looked like a spray can, but it's actually like a material object and then an arrow pointing to the object. It's kind of silly, but whatever. If F3, uncheck your real world map size here, Actually, go back into your map material and do the same thing. By default, you'll see this blasted use real world scale. Some things it's ideal, it's fantastic, but in this case you don't want to turn it on. You want to uncheck that and uncheck that one. And now the last thing you have to do, go back in here because I forgot. There's another button here. It says show shaded material and viewport right up here. If you click that, then it'll show it. That's how it works. You got to do all those things in order just to get a simple material working. And there it is. I'll put G to kill off that grid. All right, so theoretically, each one of these is an inch, but that's not right because, well, yeah, we did. We did 9 by 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to import, merge, and we're going to go into that. And I want to bring in, what did we last work on? Not Stone Bridge, Princess Tower? Is it the witch's house? That must be it. Let's see. Probably there it is. I want to get that little pink thing and the grid because that's my known pieces. So I need the grid and box 1, which I know those are my pieces. I bring these in because I know that this is a 4 by these are 1 inch grids set to millimeter, so that I know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches by 8 inches, and then this is my height. This is actually the same theoretically size as the plane, but it has the vertical side to it, so I know how high I can print it as well. So knowing that this is going to be that size, I want to go ahead and make this actually 9 by 9. And in order to do that, just go to top view, hit F4 so I can see my sections. Turn on my snap. You can make it instance if you want, doesn't matter. Just snap it there and grab one of the ends. Hold down Shift. Grab any of these pieces if it will grab it, and then stick it to it, and then you got your 9 by 9. Now theoretically this should be pretty close to that size, and it is. It's fairly close. It may be just a tad off. Let's find out. If we go really fast, you can see the grid is actually lining up more or less really good on that. So that's a fairly good accurate size there. So we just wanted to make sure that our drawing is exactly what we wanted it to be. So we can hide this and hide the pink stuff. And now we've got our little thing. Now all we're going to be doing is building these walls and then building a little maybe bumpity bump little walkway here to come out from it, and that's about it. Very simple, very modular. All of it's going to be separate, and then we're just going to hope that this actually works. So we'll see what happens. All right, so right now, man, there's a lot of cobblestones. So you can either make it like a box and then just carve the stones out, which might not be too bad. Or we can go in there and make some spheres and literally build the cobblestones piece by piece. That would take you forever, but you would have a lot more room to work on. I'm not going to care about that. And we are not going to see how it doesn't quite fit that grid. It kind of drove me nuts how they did that. They did that on the other drawings too. You've got this line perfectly, and it goes along this front, but there is no reason for this thing to go right here. All you had to do was bring this back, but he wanted to have this piece here, and that's fine. You know, that's what they're doing. Well, then, okay, then what do you expect from here? Then this needs to go on the outside. You either need to make it all the same or don't go half-assed on this, because he's got it down the line on that one. So they didn't quite make this quite as accurate as they should. So we're going to just worry about this area here. For now, I'm going to start on, let's actually, I'm going to take that, not hide all. Did I just not hide all? There it is. I'm actually going to snap this back on. Since I know that this is wrong, and the yellow one is right. I'm going to move it below. And now I can hit F3 and I can see what I'm doing. And more importantly, I can go in here and I've got, it's going to snap, but I'm not snapping to the drawing. I'm snapping to the grid below it. It just, see right there, it's kind of off. But right there, it looks pretty close to being the center. That's close to being the edge. It's close, but it's not perfect. But that right there allows me to go in here and snap right there. So I have some clean sizes, and I know that it's going to fit the grid, which is important. So I did not do that right though. There we go. So now I've got this monumental height here, and we don't need it to be that high because it's only going to be like, this one's going to be probably, I don't know. Let's make a little cylinder like we have in the past. This is our representative of our model, just to show scale, because it fits about right there inside a 1-inch grid. So we got that for scale for height. So we know typically how high we want this. And then we're going to, I'm going to set this drawing, actually I want to set this to 0, and I'm going to raise this up. So I've got, so everything here being drawn off this yellow grid down below will be on 0, just like that. So you've got everything attached to the the grid part, which is important. So everything's on 0, but you don't have to worry about the drawing itself. You do the same thing for that as well. You can just snap it there. That's fine. All right. So I want to have probably a window. There's like a hole right here that looks like a window. There's like a hole right here that kind of looks like a window. Doesn't look like one here, but when they approach, they're going to be coming in from this angle here. So this will be the front. So yeah, it needs to have like, well, that's going to be an opening right there, but it needs to have like just a natural window. So what we're going to do is give this thing, let's see, I want it to have about 1 going down the middle, 2 on either side. So we'll reduce this down to having it like 1 down the middle. Let's make it that, because that'll be one of the segments down the middle, and I really would like to, yeah, I'd like to have 1 down here, 1 in there. So yeah, so this will be the split down the middle, and then any miscellaneous splits that I could divert with the rocks, I can go that route. All right, for the upside, man, you can't even guess how many rocks you're going to put on here, but we're going to just keep it simple like that. Number 13, let's make it 14 because we're superstitious. And then make 14 right there. That way we've got basically a template of stones that we can go in there. They're right now on top of each other, which is not good. But we can work on that later. We could also, instead of using the natural segments here for the box, we could actually make connects and then move. Yeah, we'll just leave it like this. All right. So that's the first wall, and I want to start building on it and then try to adjust. Man, that's going to be tough to adjust this thing on a regular basis. I wanted to make one wall and then just change the length to accommodate down here, down here, down here, but that's going to be too much. So they're going to have to be unique, which is more work. All right, so let's put an edible poly on this thing. Let's get naming conventions right. Rename this window. So this is going to be just the window, me removing the window here. So let's do this. Yeah, you got a window and he can look right through. All right, so got a simple little window here. Let's try to keep it reasonable by let's seal this up just a bit. Let's create some polys. Oh, I totally screwed that up because I'm an idiot. This one, straight across. Straight across. That's better. That's better. I'm just going around, making my way, walking fast. And you have to seal these bad boys off. Otherwise, you're not going to have a solid wall. And this thing's going to have some thickness to it. The nice thing about this is building it in sections, like by wall sections, that's it. You can print these walls faced on its side so that the windows are actually pointed upward rather than outward like they are now. And making walls like that, you're very, very rarely, if ever, going to need supports. You can just pick however many walls you want and print away and then put them together. They're kind of like a modular puzzle in a way. I'm going pretty fast, and I've already caught myself one time going a little too fast where I've clicked when it's this crosshair and not that one. If it's this one, you're not on any vertice and you're wasting your time. You're putting it in limbo. So you want to make sure you're always chasing that crosshair and making it that thinner one. Okay, let's save this real quick so we can have a folder ready to go. Put it in a new folder. We're calling this Stone Cottage Ruin. There we are. And then Stone Cottage Ruin. All right. Now the fun begins. Now we have to just basically go in here and start sculpting the crap out of this thing. You could be lazy and just extrude a bunch of these randomly in different heights, and you can do that. We've done that in the past. It looks okay, but it looks very manufactured, and we wanted this to be more like natural stone wall. So we're going to go in and move pieces randomly. And the important thing is to use just this little X and Y movement where you're moving both X and Z movement. I'm sorry, X and Z. Y is this way. And we don't want it to go this way. We want it to stay on this surface. So we want to make sure that we're not grabbing down there. We're grabbing up here. And you're going just randomly. There's no rhyme or reason to this. In fact, the more catastrophic you are on this, the better you're going to be. Just make sure, and even if you grab the other side on accident, it's not going to hurt anything because you're going to be moving there as well. So see how the rock, you can kind of see the formation now. It's a little bit uneven on their sides. Don't have to do every one of them. Some of them are okay to leave where they are. Make some of them smaller, make some of them bigger. It's fine. Like that. And you can actually theoretically grab a whole bunch because one side is not going to make any different than the other. So you can actually drag and select several of these. I'm holding down control so I can grab the other side as well. And by doing that, you have, don't have, yeah, I have them all selected, the ones I selected on the front. And again, make sure that you've just got the X and the Z, and then move it in one direction. And you've got several in there, and you've already got the back side done. Doesn't matter on one side if it's the same as the other, because you can't see one side and the other at the same time. So go into F view and I did say F view. Didn't mean to be mean. And don't grab too many, just grab a few. And go in there and grab a couple more. Going in a random direction. Doesn't matter where you go. It's okay. Just don't pick a whole lot. Just do your own thing. You can even push F4 just to see your work as you're doing it. Leave this alone for now, because we'll work on that separate. But there you go. You might want to do a few of these since they're kind of standard. The rest of them seem pretty good. You've got a randomness there that looks like a bunch of uneven blocks that have been used to put together on those. So, and you've got the other side, a couple of them that we forgot because we did this kind of late. This time I would just grab a few, just single grab this side. Don't worry about the other because you've already moved the other ones. But again, if you actually move the other side in this case, it's actually okay. Nothing to it. All right, there we go. All right, save that down. Now we went a little too far because I wanted to just have the window on that one, but we went a little bit more on that, so that's fine. We'll make a note here. We'll real name it. What are we doing now? We'll do window stones. Actually, let's change that shape. Because now what we're going to do is go to the side view, and we're going to do this separately. Now, with this, you want to have cuts that go into where the stones come together. There's going to be always a little bit of an angle or a cut or something where the two stones meet, because these uneven stones are not going to be chiseled. So as a result, the stones won't have a sharp corner. So they'll have a little bit of an edge. And the way to do that is to grab a couple of them. Not many, but just a couple. All the way through. That's important. And what we'll do is, I believe we can chamfer these things. Let's see. Instead of vertices, we'll do edges. That was edges? Edges? We don't have no stinking edges. And I don't want anything except the cross pieces. Right there and right there. I don't want these pieces, for instance. Okay? So just one piece like that. And now I think we can chamfer it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. As an alternative, you can try to extrude it which is probably going to be even better of an option. You can basically bring them out however you want and then bring them down. You still are going to have to clean stuff up because of this, because it chamfers. In other words, it splits those together, but you still have this piece here. So you got these two pieces here you're going to have to clean up anyway. So you can either do chamfer or not. It's no big deal. This particular one, I'm going to make them bigger than usual so that they're more excited. Something like that. The other ones are going to be narrower, but I just want the printer to be able to see those because this thing is not going to be that, it's not going to be that big as you think it is. Now I'm going to go in here and delete all of these side pieces that were formed by the chamfer. Those, and don't forget your other side. If you accidentally select something on and you didn't mean to, just hit Control Z and that'll go back as well. Delete those things, we don't need them. Go to vertice or vertex and go to target well and just start targeting the crap out of it. You just need to target the various pieces here. And go to the back side. Forgot this one too. Alright, that's a start. Don't worry, we're going to chamfer and smooth these things out in a second. Alright, I want to get a little bit more on these pieces here. I want to get the rest of them. Again, just grab a few and do the extrude, but this time not so much. So you have some difference and not so deep. Just enough. But again, you're going to have to go in here. I mean, you can leave those little slivers if you want, but it's sloppy. You can see right here, they're just not good pieces. Find them. They just need to be deleted, and it's a cleaner model if you go in here and do your homework and clean house. It will bite you in the butt later on if you're not careful. And then go back to your target weld and do the same thing, just as we did. Just grab one piece that was there, the outside, and bring it in. And yes, you can go from here to there if you want. I'm just going inward like this. It's up to you and will not make a difference. Well, here. Didn't click on it right. All right. There's that. And we can do one more for these last pieces. And I'll even take a corner and make them thin but deep. Might click on these a couple of times just to get past and delete as you go. You got to click multiple times and you'll go through the cycle. If you click it just a whole bunch of times, just keep clicking it until you have what you need selected. Which in this case is really small. Okay. Go back to your vertex, go to target well, and clean up your mess. This time I want to target this and go deeper so that it's the deeper cut. This one's a little trickier because it's on the corner. In order to do that, you need to make a vertex right here and right here, because you need to have one here that goes down and connects there. So this comes here and doesn't go across, it goes here and goes down. So just go over here and make a connect, or not a connect. What am I doing? A cut. I had to sit there and think about that for a while. A cut. And coming from this middle piece directly there, make sure that it's not doing crazy things like that. Sometimes you have to go the opposite direction, from here to there, to get your cut. And now we'll try and see how many vertices we got here. 1, and we want to weld it from here to there. And now we've got our hole. But it is kind of a outside, it's got an artifact right there that we don't like. This whole section right here, it's really kind of funky. So what we gonna do is delete it, and we are going to do the other side first. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. These need to go. That needs to go. Now I've got the same thing now. Move them together, and then what we can do to keep that cutout from going anywhere, we can do an edge and select both of these. Select one at a time. Select these two, one down there, one down here, and connect it so that there's a line all the way through it. Do the same thing for the top one. Connect it so there's a line through it, and then join by target welding the pieces that are here, like that. And that way everything has a nice anchor point to it. This to there, and that to there. And I think that this might be a 2 edge. Nope, it's 1. That's perfect. That's what you wanted right there. And now we'll test and see how our hole looks. And we know it's good because it wraps around everywhere. It doesn't go anywhere off the path that we expected it to be. This is the parameter of the hole that we're in. And if it would go anywhere else, you would see it all over the place. If this wasn't a clean, closed circuit, and as a result, you push cap and it closes it off just fine. And we do the same thing over here. Click cap, and we close it off. But it's all anchored, which is what we want. That's good. All right, I believe we got everything else lined up. We're just going to leave things as they are, which I'm fine with. All right, let's save this as another file. Alright, and by the way, because you're probably thinking this looks awful and rugged and all that, we're going to put a mesh smooth later on. Not yet, but, and it still looks pretty crappy because we haven't got it ready yet. So, but don't worry, it's not going to be this jugged when we get done with it. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead, that was the pieces there. So we're going to add another edit poly, and this one is going to be stone extrude should be it. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do a couple of things. We can extrude by selecting essentially everything except the top and the bottom for now. We're not quite ready for that because we haven't done anything up here. We haven't made them uneven. We haven't made it on the side either. So just the front and the back. And you can go in here and try to extrude and then spread it apart just a tad bit and then bring it in. So you've automatically, it breaks it up and you automatically have your stonework. I mean, that's very, very simple. If you took foam and used a X-Acto knife and a pencil and cut through that, that would be quite a while, but I just did that in just a half a time right there. And it looks like it's an uneven type of rock wall that didn't have a lot of ingenuity, but had a lot of luck in getting the pieces to fit. The other way that you can do it is, I believe, chamfer is the way. And you can go in here and actually just split. If I can get this to work. Ooh, this may not work. This may have killed my computer. But basically, yeah, this is not looking good. Okay, there it goes. We're going to not do this because it's for some reason eating up my resources. I'm not really sure why chamfer is being that much, but for some reason it's not working that way. So we're going to stick with the extrude. Not sure why it's not. It's extrude, 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 extrude. Yeah, that's a lot of extruding. Boy, it did all these like ridiculous. Man, sometimes Max just gets away with itself and doesn't know what in the world it's going to do. But that is definitely not what we want. Add, delete, modifier is what we want. We came to this point. And if we go one more, it turns off that edit. That's where we were. So that's what we need. My goodness, that was pretty awful. All right, so let's get back to it. Let's deselect the top and the sides. We just have the front and the back made. Okay, we're going to try extrude one more time. That's how it should be. And that's how it's done. You may want to consider not doing the edges here because they are supposed to stay edged and you want to chamfer those later. So if you want to, go in here and hold down Alt and deselect your bottom part of the actual edges, but select everything else. Just keep those rest of the pieces white. I apparently screwed up right there. I missed those two pieces. Forgot all about them. So just delete this because we haven't done anything. Go back to this shape because this is what this is. And finish your job. Stupid. And we haven't done anything to this. We just need to target weld these things. Alright. I think that's all of them that time. Alright, now let's get back to it. Edit poly. Rename it. stone. What do we call this? Shape. Definitely not what we called it last time, but I don't care. It's fine. All right. Third time's a charm. Here we go. Select all. Deselect this. Select the back. Go to your top view. Hold down Alt. Deselect everything but the front. Get the front. You get the back. Not the sides. Not the window. Go to Extrude. And present yourself. Present Hall Pass. Keep an eye on that one polygon down there that's getting black. It doesn't like to do things. So get it as close, but not as close to the black as you need. And then bring it in as much as you want. The more you bring it in, the more detail you're going to get. It's fine. Again, you're going to have issues with this. And again, all you got to do is go in here and just clean up your mess. Just select the overhang and select the vertice, and it'll go right into where it needs to be. Like that. Make sure you're going in and not outward so that it has that little groove, and it'll have that little wedge piece right there. It goes both ways. And just go all the way around the mulberry bush. Oh, that's lovely. Really lovely. So in this one, we want to go outward on this. Or did we? Yes. No. The other way. The same thing we've been doing. Just push it in. Just push it in. There you go. And that's kind of a weird little crack there, but it works. Weird crack. Somebody would get behind a 7-Eleven, 3 in the morning. All right. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Simple wall. Nothing to it. Very simple. Now we want to get rid of that hard edge all the way around. We need also to get on the top. So let's go ahead and add another edit poly. You betcha. Stone shape top side. Gonna do the same thing we did the other day. We're gonna go in here, look to the left, and we're gonna grab stuff. And we're just gonna do the X and Y this time because of the way it's patterned. This green and this red. It's all we want to move. We don't want to move anything else. Not the Z axis, just the XY. So we can keep it all on that same plane, that vertical plane that this is right up the side of the wall. Otherwise, you're going to have all kinds of bumps and stuff like that, and we're going to get the bumps later on. By the way, before, I guess I already have it turned off. Okay. Something like that. And then the top view. Ooh, yeah. I'll do something about these pieces up here. They don't look right either, but that looks fine. I gotta make sure that these pieces here are all good. For now they are, but they're not gonna be here in a second. All right, so we got the sides, we got the top. That's the shape. we'll go ahead and just make another one just for the fun of it, because you can make just as many of these as you want. Shape again. Now let's make it extrude. Extrude. Show and extrude. And then we want edges this time. And we're going to select everything. Sides, top, bottom, but not the front, not this section, not yet. Not yet. Alright, let's extrude. Should be the same, but it's not. Awesome. Remember what the amount was? Nope, neither do I. Alright, there we go. And we click save, and we're done. That's good enough. Now, you may say, well, all these stones are like on top of each other. Well, and they're not like offset like bricks do. Well, when it comes to stone, that doesn't matter. You just pretty much put wherever the bricks want to be. And for a wall, that looks like a wall close enough. It's not going to be all that exciting, but it's not that important. It just needs to be something there to give the visual that there is some kind of physical thing there to detract from the mundaneness of the picture of the flatness. Alright, so next up is edit poly. And we're going to work on the window again. Window shape 2, part 2, part 2. And this one we're going to try our best and chamfer this bad boy. And we'll see, Lord Vader. We shall see. Alright. P for potty. Did I forget this side? I sure enough did. See those? I missed them. And I can't go back. So what do? Well, you improvise. And you kind of say, okay, well, this adjustment that I did that I forgot 6 steps back, we can't go back that far yet. I'm not going to go back that far because of it. So what I'm going to do is just use this current edit poly. I just forget the whole blasted back wall. My goodness, look at this. This is ridiculous. That's not even a part of where it's supposed to go. There we go. Yeah, this is awful. Who thought of this? Totally forgot to do this backside. And I preached about using the backside on a regular basis. The entire backside is wrong. Might as well rename this backside. Oops. But he's still going. There's still more to it. Okay. And might as well leave that there. I'm going to actually rename this EP for edit poly, window cleanup, and then make the poly I want. EP window part do. Now we're going to try to chamfer this thing, and it's going to be, oh my goodness, I forgot the bottom. I swear this is not a good day. Did we remember all of them? Probably not. Okay. 18 times the charm. I don't even remember what we're supposed to do now. Alright. So we're going to grab this, and we cannot loop it. That's always a good sign that we screwed up somewhere. That's fine. Select everything except these edges. So that you got all these pieces, but make sure you got everything. And make sure you don't have the center part. We don't want this. We just want the, I'm going over here. We just want the outer edge, these pieces here. I do not need that up there. Yeah. That's all we're chamfering for right now. We're going to try it. Let's see if it works. Usually I zero out the chamfer because it always starts at 1 millimeter, and that's never enough, or that's always too much. So let's try just a little bit at a time. Look how disastrously ugly that looks. Well, that's terrible. But we're going to fix it. How? By making it gigantic. How does that help? It does not. But now we got to go in there and clean the thing up again. So we're going to make this EP window chamfer, and then EP the next one. EP window cleanup. Do. Dos. Catorce. Then we just make sure that these things are okay, even though they're dark, and they shouldn't be. Not saying anything's wrong with that before any of you start jumping on me. Yeah, see how it's a lot lighter over there. Not that big of a deal to shift these things around since it's all stonework. So if you wanted to move around a little bit just to make it so it's not just all black, feel free. I think it'll print just fine. Okay. I don't know why this is not working. Yeah, we'll worry about this in a second. Let's go over here. Let's check out the poly here. Is it because there's more than one poly? I wonder if it's because it's pointed outward. That one's definitely pointing in, but that does look like there's something right here. This looks like two of them. It is not. I was wrong. I was wrong. There are two right there, though. I was right. I was just off a little bit. All right. So that means there probably is two polys right here. Let's find out if we can do this without causing major brain damage. Yes, sir. There are two poly. Oh, crap. There's the one I was picking up right there. I thought I was right. Again, I was wrong. So there's two vertices somewhere. There they are. And it will not let me delete them. So it means that we've got a situation here. I'm just going to delete that because that looks awful. And then we can actually find out what the hold up is by selecting border. Ah, there it is right there. It's got some wonky piece. That right there, that's an issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down to size, and then go to vertex and select, make sure that we've got just one. There's two there. Weld that bad boy together. That's right. And got two there. Okay. All right. Oops. Here we are over here. I'm lost. I can't remember where we were. All right. So we really just need to cut this in half right here just to keep it more stable. And then we can go in here and border this thing up and cap it. And now it's not black anymore. Same thing for probably this. There's probably something around here. Go to your edges. Start making sure that you select just that. That's fine. That's one. I'm looking over here where it says edges. There's probably one that says like 2 somewhere. But make sure that you're selecting the edges and not something else. If you're selecting multiple edges in the background and you don't realize it because you're looking this way, but you really have several over there selected, just be careful when you select it all. Well, that seems alright. A lot of these are just dark. It's not that big a deal. This one is fine. But we do need to clean these things up. So let's start. Ooh, you see that slice right there? That's terrible. We need to get rid of that. And just fuse these bad boys together. That doesn't look good. Something's wrong here. Something very wrong. And that's probably because this thing and this thing doesn't have any vertices to go onward. They just, T-sections are not good. Try to avoid T-sections as much as you can. And try to not make a polygon bend in half, like right there. Let's figure out what's the problem here. There's something else. Something wrong here. Cap that. Sometimes it takes, 2 to tango. So you gotta cap them both like that, and all of a sudden they look much, much better. Okay. Same thing up here. It looks like crap. We don't want this little Pac-Man mouth or little bitty thing. We don't need it. And it's going to be so small you're not even going to see anything in there. Alright, there we go. There we go. That's good. That's good. Even though this is all looks kind of crappy, it's fine. Why? Because it is. It's just rock and it's immaterial. You just want it to have some kind of look to it and not have these little baby pieces here. And get rid of all these things. And then target the crap out of everything. And I'm going to cut like that. Should be okay. Just don't want those T's. Constantly moving around to make sure that we're okay, but this looks pretty bad too. We don't want all this fuzziness. Don't want all this fuzziness. Get rid of all that. Man, if I could quit moving the camera. People are getting dizzy. Alright, let's target this one to there to bring that down. That's awful. That was a terrible decision. Why'd you do that? Let's do the same thing but do something different. And then we've got this little wedge here inside. We can actually probably see it better in here. See, there's like little wedge there. But it needs to stay a wedge because it represents the lollipop gang. The little slice here cuts into the stone. We need it to stay that way. So from this side, if I can get there, the inside, still with me? We're going to make this little polygon here. A create thing. We're going to just go bump, 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 like that. And see, now it's closed. And it doesn't have a weird piece sticking out. It's all little triangles, which is great. That looks awful. This piece right here. So let's see how that see how that cleaned up a little bit better. Yeah, you want stuff like that. You want stuff like that. This looks terrible. It was. Didn't even make any sense. Over here you've got that piece. You've got, again, this weird piece there. And you want to cut this to Tokyo. Hey, hey, Godzilla. do not want. I want polygon, create, and actually you don't even have to do that. You can do border. And just see how this little piece. I clicked border and it should have clicked just the outline of that hole, but it went over here. Why? To go over on that side? No. It's because there's a vertice right probably here, and sure enough there is. It always means that there is a vertice that's not fused together. Excuse me. All you have to do is just weld the thing and it's done. Alright. This one, I want to border this up, and now it fits just fine. You can cap it, and then I'm going to go to edge and cut piece there to there to there, just to kind of even that out. So there's a piece there. That's important. Unfortunately, I got to do the same dadgum thing to here. Dadgum. Just moving around, cleaning up stuff, doing not much else. Same stuff. Same exact stuff. There it is again. And there she goes again. And there it is. Just like that. Beautiful, isn't it? Took me a month to build. A lifetime of investment. Delete these things. Target them. Target. 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 Targeted. Done. And then cut these things. Cut them good. Make them bleed. See what I'm doing? I'm just making little connections. Doesn't matter where, it just needs to go somewhere, and so you don't have these T sections. Like this right here, T sections. You don't want these. They don't do well, especially when you come to turbo smooth. You don't want to do that because it kind of sucks then. And you'll see why in a bit. Cut these. Anytime a polygon is bent, you want to slice it. Okay, how's the rest of this looking? Good? Nope, of course not. These pieces here. Border. Cap it. Did absolutely nothing it. That's fine. Sometimes you do a lot of work and it's all for nothing. That prepares you for life. Alright, there we go. Get out of the way, purple man. Need to clean this up here real quick. What in the world is this? This is terrible. And this needs to be removed. And we need to target weld these two pieces together so that they're there. And then border. Capita, 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 capita. And then cut. This piece here to there is fine. Okay. Something wrong here. Might be a loose vertice. Just going around checking to make sure I've got vertex and not vertice. And it's all vertex. So it's just a piece of crap. And you can always try to delete stuff and recap it. And sometimes it fixes itself like that. Why does it do that? I don't know. But it's fixed. And that's what matters. Okay, that looking good, that looking sweet. All right. This is how much we worked on. Boom, boom, boom. Save as another file. All right. Now we need to do a Titan. So we're going to do EP Stone Titan. Ha! You thought it was like Titan like the big thing. Nope. Titan like the Tighten up. Let's ring-a-ding-ding this thing and see if it goes around. Of course it doesn't. Of course it does not. So we just from left to right from the top view. Alt deselect a lot of these things. And then go around and see how well we did. We want to just get these side pieces that we didn't want to touch last time. Now we want to touch them all the time. I did not go, and it doesn't look like I fixed a whole lot on here. Before I do that, dang it, gotta clean up more crap. Always the work and never the fun. But it's important to work hard and get the job done correctly. That looks terrible. That looks terrible. So we're going to cut it in half. That did nothing. Almost looks like it's reversed, so we'll try flipping it. Nope, that's darker. We always want it lighter. Darker goes inside. Well, that's a really dark piece. Try moving it. It does lighten it up a little bit, so maybe that's all it was. Yeah, look at that. It's nice once you level like that. Oh my god, more of this crap. Who modeled this piece of junk? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Looking good. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just want to leave those guys. That's kind of tight. This is awful. What in tarnation? Let's figure this one out. Let's figure this one out. It's probably that right there. Alright, first of all, let's get... We've seen popping fresh over here long enough, blocking my view. Alright. I think it's this piece here that's kind of causing an issue, so let's cut this thing right across from belly to belly and see what happens. Nothing. Excellent. If we delete it and border it up, cap it like it's hot, it's cleaner. It's not as clean as it should be. Let's do the same thing over here and see what happens. Again, a little cleaner. It makes me think that that's just a poly needs to be moved. And sure enough, if you move it in a certain direction, Works just fine. So that's okay. Same thing for that. All right, are we good? We good? We good. All right. Now save it. Now add it on there. EP Stone. This is exciting, right? Right. Stone, whatchamacallits. What are we going to do this one? Titan. Stone. Titan. And by that, I mean we're going back to the drawing board of clicking the ring, not happening. So we're going to go down here and drag across what we see, these pieces here that make up the wall, the window, and just Alt around the bulk of the wall. So we've selected most of, we've deselected most of the things. Hit F3 just to make sure and take a gander. Make sure you've got just the pieces that go left to right. These pieces right here. Inside the building, or the wall, not anything else. You can even take a gander here. That's confusing. Alright, this time we're going to put connect the dots, 2 of them, spread them out like hot molasses. And that way we get a nice little tight area right there. That's going to be kind of our tightening area for Turbo Smooth. We get kind of an edge there. See how it's there? So, and also we can see the disaster that we have going on this stonework. We're going to have to work on this. Me no like the fact that we have to do this. I should have put the window in last, but it would have been just as much bad. But it's fine. We can do this. Alright, we've tightened the stone, which is right there. We need to tighten everything else. Let's tighten the other. Well, let's use the same edit poly. It's going to be a wonderful little joy. A Joey. Wonderful little Joey. Oh, it's a wonderful Joey. You know, they call them kangaroos down there. That's what they call a kangaroo. A Joey. No, a Joey. That's what they call them. Dang it, did I not push the button? Ooh. Okay, I did push the button. Alright. Yes, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, they call him a Joey. Little baby jump arounds. I don't know why they called him a Joey. Maybe the guy named Joey met up with a baby and said, "What is your name, little fella?" And it says, "I had not got a name. Please name me." And he says, "Why, I call you a Joey, 'cause that's my name too." And the two lived together forever. Joey and Joey, until it became a sitcom in the 1980s, which was spun off by Simon and Simon. Actually, I can just keep clicking this connect button instead of the settings because it remembers my last command, which was invade England. Now, it was to split the connect these edges in such a way that they have a brilliancy about them. And now, when we apply Turbo Smooth, they just get a little bit edgier. Just a little bit edgier. Alright. get that out of here. Now what we're going to do, how does the top look? Top looks fine. Top looks just fine. What we're going to do on this one, we're going to add another polygon because we got to edit polys like you wouldn't believe here. 595 to get rid of all of them. All right, to do this, we're going to pull out, we're going to be beveling these stones. So stone bevel. And this one, a quick little easy trinket, is that you go in here and just barely select what's extruded. And then what we want is we just want this piece here. So we're going to get in nice and tight. Nice and tight. And we're going to deselect everything we got. Everything except that edge. Everything. And now we still do not have the edges. We have not got it enough. It needs to be even more. More! Which is weird because it looks like we've deselected everything. And I think it's because I looked at the wrong side. More. Which I did. Alright. So this is what it's going to look like on the other side. Just the caps. And we should have not done the connect so early, but that's okay. Because we're going to be doing some chamfering and sons. Chamfered and sons. Thought I saw you, little turd. Little porch monkey. Alright. There we go. Go back and make sure you have all the pieces selected. Looks pretty close. Awesome. I don't even have the other side selected. That's fantastic. It deselected it all and I forgot to select it. That's fine. We'll do it one at a time. We'll do it the easy way. And we're just going to do bevel. And we're going to extrude outward and bring it in until it turns dark. And then I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to extrude it. And then we're going to try to do this. What did we just do? We scaled them down. And the thing of it is, you notice how they were overlapping on the when I tried to bevel, but when you scale it, they scale universally. So it keeps those little thin pieces nice and packed away like that. So now you've got a neat little setup right here where you've got even more definition than you did before compared to this side where it's just kind of stonework. Now you've got a little bit more beveled, chamfered. Looks pretty cool. All right. Now, unfortunately, we got to do the other side, though. That kind of sucks. All right. I want this side. So we're going to do that side is what we want. So I just want to get just a little bit and just take away just a little bit. And a little bit there. Get a little closer. Alrighty then, let's bevel it again. It's the same number. And then we just do the, well, follow the leader because it wants to go everywhere. I'm trying to catch you. Let's slow down. And then we're just going to just do whatever we want. That's good. That's fine. So now I'm going to show you the difference of what I'm talking about here. Off, on, off, on. show that off, on. Okay, I've showed you enough times. Now we have to do somewhat for the edges. Edges? 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 We do need edges. Sorry. Sorry, we need edges. Alright. That was a little quicker and easier, though. And that side is good. And we need the top. Hold down Control to do this. And then I should have done this earlier. First. I don't know if I got everything. Let's see. Missed a couple pieces there. And we're looking, it's looking good on that side. Looking good on that side. Let's do this. Bevel it. It remembers. And then this time, again, we're going to try to bring it in. Bring it on home. And now we've got a wall. But it's not ruined. It's just a wall. Yeah, well, this is going to be the first one. And we're going to make one on the other side. It's going to be just like it. You know, we're going to be doing it like literally this. And it's going to be like that. We are not going to instance this one. Because it's going to be longer. And we're going to put it on the place we're supposed to put them on. Like right there. Let me see, where's this thing overlap? Yeah, it overlaps right there. So, this thing should be right there. Brilliant. So now it'll be on the grid. Close enough. It needs to snap, but I'm not going to turn off everything and then turn back on. Well, yeah, I guess I could. I could actually do this. Check this out. I can select everything and push I on all of these. I can literally turn off everything that we've done, except it being a box. And then you can make sure that it's, oh, I was right on the money. I was on the money. Make sure it's on the money, and then turn everything back on. And that way you know that you're snapping to the edge of that box and nothing more. And because otherwise you've chamfered it. There is no edge anymore. See how that's up and above that place? But we know that's where it's at, so that's all that matters. Okay. Nice. Okay. It's a cool guy. All right. So we're going to do something kind of funky, and that is EP extend. Extend outward. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to look through our looking glass through this way. And we need to go, I believe, in this direction. Let's find out. Yes, indeed. And we've selected everything except those last pieces right there. And what we can do is actually keep going. We need to select more than that. Everything to the window. To the window. To the wall. All right. And we're going to actually just be fun right here. We're just going to move it all the way. And yes, we're going to have to eyeball this one because it's going to be, let's see, I want it to be on the outside so that you have the full scale inside. So we'll do that. And then this will go on the outside as well, whatever the thickness is of that building is. So we're going to move this thing real quick, make a copy of it. Not that way. We need to snap this one, snap angle, so we can hold down shift and get it on a 90-degree turn. Copy it, don't instance it. We're going to make a copy over here. We can delete that piece. And on this one, again, we're going to down to the box. We're going to get this thing snapped so we know exactly where it's at, which is going to be right there. Okay? And then this piece right here is going to go flush with that more or less. And this piece can continue on its merry way to the front door. All right. Now that I'm covering things up, I'm going to make a copy of this over to one side, and that way I can reference it with things on top of it, so I can actually know what's going on. All right. One of the things here is that there's going to be a hole right here, so we're going to actually be probably just using this as the hole right here. We're probably just going to cut this whole thing right here. So we did the extend, but we need to extend it completely. And again, we're just eyeballing it now this time. That's good enough. It looks like it's there, more or less. That's fine. There's a big gaping hole right here, though. And we need the wall to end right there where there's a hole. But I want it to, it'd be nice to have it to be big enough for someone to sneak in, but this is not going to be the case here. So it's just going to be a crumbled piece here. So we just need a gap right here, right where this hole is. So what we can do, I want to even this piece out here. So that I have even segments of the stonework, a bit bigger, but still more even. All right. Now, hole's going to be right about here, right there. To add another, you know what? And we're going to just fry all this. I want to fry it the right way. All right, get all that window in. I want to keep the support right along that edge there. That's an ugly piece there that needs to be fixed. Oh, it's all along that top. That's right. We're supposed to fix that. We didn't. Well, we'll fix that later, I guess. And right now I need to get my camera fixed. There we go. I think that's good. This isn't, though. Alrighty. Yeah, we're going to have to clean that up on the top and the bottom. That's nasty. Alright, that's nasty. Alright, let's, crap, I don't want to get rid of all that, but let's go ahead and do it. And then get the vertice out. Did I lose any? Did I leave stuff? Yeah, I did. I didn't grab that stuff. There. All right. And we can actually see where the hole is now by grabbing a little bit off the top. When we get back, you can actually turn on soft select when you have this complex, this amount of pieces. And you can go in there and turn it off and then select the one you don't want to affect and move it back. Something like that. That way you got the hole in there. Now on this one, I'm thinking instead of a hole here, we're going to make it so that it is wooden planks that are on top that kind of boarded them up haphazardly. So we're going to go in here and isolate this so we just don't have any confusion. And see, we're going to kind of make it so that these things are sort of maybe board-like. Like there was an extra piece of the building that wasn't originally there, perhaps. But for the most part, I want to get rid of a lot of this. Let's see. Sorry about that. Lots of little pieces. And like I said, this may be something that we should have done earlier, but I'm trying to cut corners to get stuff done quicker. And usually that comes to bite you in the butt when you try to do that, especially in this program. It's very unforgiving when you're trying to cut corners. But again, I'm making something that can be sloppy and get away with it. Not to mention, this is going to be a test print anyway, so I have a regular print, final one, done much later. Trying to just grab everything except the outer, that first edge of stones. I'm grabbing just those and nothing else. So I don't have to, and I'm trying to drag select so I can get them as quickly as I can without having, I'm holding down control and trying to grab as many as I can without having to individually pick them. And then I'm also making sure that I'm not getting, extra pieces I don't want. Good thing for Alt undo, Control undo Z. All right, I think that's all of it right there, and that will go away like that. We got a few scragglers, but we can easily get rid of those. Now it's a clean break. All right, we EP removed window. So now that is there, and now it's gone. Okay. We're going to do this EP boarded window. And we're going to save this real quick. And one way you can go ahead and do this is to make this all one piece. We can go in here and kind of finagle this to where all of this right here, man, I want to get this to nice and even so that I can just make these boards go straight up, but it looks like that's not going to happen. So the board can go like that, one like that. Man, that's going to be kind of a pain. Let's see. Because it'll be real easy from this side. I mean, this is part of it. You just basically go up and up to that. Get your vertex on. And target weld that piece. And then go in here and weld that. And then target weld your sides. Like there. Right there. Actually, you probably want to just leave them out there because you're going to bring them on down to the bottom side anyway. So we'll just cut these things from that one little inside outlet. I didn't grab the pieces there. Want to break. Breaking separates vertices apart. And it breaks them all. So if there's multiple turns, if there's like 4 different edges that meet together, see how that one's there? I can connect them to there, but then there is the original piece right here has 2 vertices. I need to weld those back together after I break them. Right now I've got, and you got to keep clicking this several times until you get the right one you want. That's the one I want. To there. And then again, weld the inside one. And then you can go in here, now that they're even like they should have to begin with, go to edge and then cut from that inside piece to this inside piece. And of course it doesn't do it right. So we do it the other way to see how that works, and usually that does it, and it didn't. Awesome. So now we get to do even more work that we don't want to do. Let's see. That's vertex 1. That's vertex 1. Well, what we could do is just cheat the system and connect the pieces like twice. And then just bring them right over there to the edges. If it doesn't like it, too bad. To there. To that one. To that one. And that'll tighten up once we get turbo smooth and things like that, because we want that board to be nice and tight. See, when we put the turbo smooth on, it's not quite, but the edges are still holding tight. We'll worry about the rest of it later, but for now we can do this and get away with it. Alright, so this one's going to be boarded up, so that one is going to have its own piece here. And the nice thing is, with that being 2 pieces, you can actually pull it outward a bit. Actually put it out quite a bit, and we can actually bevel that thing out. Like that. And click on OK. And now it looks, and then it's got kind of a board to it. Something like that. This one, I want it to come at an angle so it looks like there's a board behind a board. That's a little bit tougher to do, but we can still do it. Grab that one and hold down Shift to bring this thing up. So you have that piece. And then you want to get this piece to actually go back. Oh, got the wrong piece there. Let me do it. I did it a second time. Let me show you what I really was wanting to do. I really wanted to grab all three of those segments. Hold down Shift, bring it out like that. I want this because target weld, and I'm going to have this piece right there and this piece right next to it like that. So it's connected in that way. And then we're going to basically bring these back on itself so that they are attached like that, leaving a gap, which I guess we could have done it the other way because I'm an idiot. So how about we do it this way instead? We bring these up here together, make them married like that. And now we've got that piece there. We can bring this thing out a bit and then bevel the rest of the way, and it comes out. And again, it looks like from a distance, kind of looks like a board. Yeah, there's a gap there, but it needs to be to have some kind of a separation so you can actually see that there are pieces in there. But yeah, from a distance, it'll be just fine. It's split on there, and our eyes will just naturally do that, go that way. So I'm fine with that. Doesn't bother me a bit. Okay, then another one, we'll have one coming here, a little bitty one, and another one going there. So two pieces coming out here to go to these two pieces. That gives this piece and this piece a place to get together. So let's do this piece, and this time we want the edges as well, both sides, and bring it on up. This will be a much easier piece here. And target weld that one, the inside piece to the inside piece to that, and this one to there. You can put it right on top of each other. It's not going to make a difference. Okay. I'll go ahead and select that, get out a bit, and hit my bevel. So it automatically does that. We'll even bring it back a little bit so that there's some different sizes, different depths, like that. They go in different angles. Okay. We can even make them so they're not completely fat, and they actually have kind of an angle to them. Maybe this one comes outward more at the top. See how it's angled? Like right there. You can do that. Doesn't really matter. Alright, and I screwed up here because I wanted this to come to the middle piece and not to the outside. So what we're going to do is shave the patient. No, we're going to break these up. And we're going to try and select just this piece here and see if we can't raise this up just a tad bit without having to move it. Just a little bit. We don't have to go very far just to separate that thing. And then we'll move just these pieces here. Get it? And this piece here is going to somewhere in the middle. There it is. And target weld the other one to there. And then we need something to anchor this to it, because right now it's just sitting pretty. There's nothing to hold this in. Matter of fact, that's not even... It's still two pieces. For some reason, it is still two pieces. If I grab this, I can split this thing off. That's why. That's why. So in this case, we need to remove the supports. If I can not get myself confused here. And then we go in here and target weld that. And we'll need to bring this thing out just a tad bit so we can get that anchored. Bring these back in. And yes, I remember we have to worry about these vertices here in a second. We'll get to that everything in a minute. We get these things rolling. And we got to keep rolling. Alright, so that's back to where it was up there. And we got a half piece. And these two were where the fun was. Right here and right here. And we've got 6 vertices, so we'll just weld it. And then now it's got 2. Alright. And you don't see that things happen like that. But if you're looking over here, always keep an eye on how many vertices you have selected. Then you know exactly what's right. What do you have wrong? Alright, now this piece is still by itself in the middle of La La Land, so we need to make a place for it to anchor to. We don't need it to go very far, just somewhere down the line. You don't have to grab a whole bunch of them, and you just need one. It just needs to go that far. That's more than enough. Yes, we're leaving it at a T section, and you can go in here and move this to this place if you want, so that it goes into another section, which ironically, yes, is another T section. But some places you can get away with it because it's in between the cracks. Alright, now we theoretically should be able to select this. We've got 2 vertices here, and we weld it, and now it's 1. It's all good. From Diego to the Bay. Alright. Now, we want to quickly get the rest of this. I don't want a border. I want just the edge. And just this edge. And crank this bad boy right up here. We'll do that for now. And we'll target weld these things together. And we'll weld this one together. And then we could just border this, I believe, and cap it. And got that hole done. Okay. Grab the poly. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And another time. Nope. Just one sneeze, I'm sorry. Alright. And then pull this out just a tad bit and then hit your bevel. We still got our saved dimensions. Bring it even out a little bit farther if we want to. We got a couple of wood pieces here. And then this last piece is going to be a humdinger. And basically what we're going to do is follow this trajectory. And it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. But if you follow along, for now we just grab this piece. I guess we can grab both of these. And all we're going to do is extrude to the first piece. And we're going to take this corner and snap it right to that the first possible vertice we can come to, which is right there. Okay, we're not going to worry about this for now. We're just going to keep on going. And now we're going to the next piece, which is right up here. So hold down, shift, extrude out, and then snap it where you need to go. And we're going to go all the way up here. Trust me on this one. I'm making this up as I go. We're going to go to the next one here. But it's important to select all of them so they stay with you the whole way. like that all the way to the top. Okay. So now we've got that all that. It's all loose because we've just got them snapped. We don't have anything targeted. It's all going to be needed to weld and all that. But for right now, big issue is that we've got all these pieces here, all these segments that go across, and these boards have nothing to hold on to. So right now what we need to do is hit F3 and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we ignore the top one because that'll be fused. This one will be fused up there. So there's 6 of these segments. They need to have something to anchor to the side of them. So what we're going to do is, first of all, remove these out of the way so that we clear a path. Just these 6. Just move them out of the way. It doesn't matter for now. And we're going to go in here and we're going to grab, well, we can really just grab all of them, but we're just going to grab these right here. That's not letting us, of course. It is definitely not letting us grab these for some reason. It's not letting me grab anything. That's awesome. It starts doing this every once in a while, and I don't understand why it was doing that. And it just, now all of a sudden it can do it. It just makes no sense. Been doing that a few times lately. It's kind of frustrating. It's doing that again now. Huh. That is weird. Definitely should not do that, but we got it now, so who cares? I don't want this one though. We're going to connect it, and we're going to make 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it says 6. And these are going to be just anchor points. And we're going to snap with the 2 of them selected. If I can get the stupid things to select. Can't even get the blasted anchor point to pick there. There we go. Man. It's really misbehaving tonight. It's going to be sitting in the shelf for a little bit until Wednesday. I'm not even going to mess with this program until it starts to learn to behave right. Oh, now it's starting to listen to me. It's scared that I'm going to put it on the shelf and not give it any attention to the end. Like, well, stop. See, it's doing that again. There. Alright, now we're going to start welding like you've never seen before. Weld. 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 We can actually just probably select most of this right here, because I don't think it's big enough to us. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's find out. Easy way to find out sometimes is by turning Turbo Smooth on, and you'll have holes the big size of Texas where there's big gaps. If vertices aren't fused together, they'll just pull it apart, and those vertices that are on top of each other will become holes. So now that we did that, we're going to fix this last piece here so that it is extruded and beveled rather. And we've got another piece here that will bring that out further. Alright, so now we've got our boards set up. And it'll look kind of like a boarded window. I don't care if it doesn't, it is. We can actually put another board on top of it, but we won't. So that's what we're going to do right there. It's boarded up. And then, crap, it's 8 o'clock. Basically, the next thing to do is to seal that off, that big gaping hole, which is not going to be fun. And then finish off the next walls. And that'll probably be consisting of taking away some of these windows. So unfortunately, you would go over here, make a copy, and you would retract until the window, which unfortunately is something around there, would be easy. You don't need that. Would be the next thing. You can do that again. You can do that again. That's the extrude part. That would probably be this step. So basically, second from the bottom, and you'd have to basically just delete all that, and then you can remove that because you don't need it. So yeah, just take out the window, but keep everything else. So you would go in here, and again, this is why we wanted the window as its own layer, but we didn't do it, and this is the price you pay. So you have all this out here, and delete it, and then you go in here and select your border, cap it. Select your border, cap it. And then you'll have to go in here and connect all these pieces together by cutting. Is probably the quickest and easiest way of doing it. And yeah, you're going to have to go middle to middle to that, that to middle to middle to that. And you probably should move these pieces up a little bit. Yeah, you're going to have to do that for the other side as well. Get those upward. And then go back to edge. Something like that. And then you'd move all your pieces again, just like you would and you have to do the other side too. But then you've got basically a clean wall that doesn't have a window. It's probably something that should have been done to begin with, and then the whole cut out, and that's probably the smarter way of doing it. But then after it's done, that's pretty much all we're going to do, and then make basically a wood flooring if we want to, and that'll just fit in between independently, and it'll just sit right there where these pieces will just sit on top of itself, and then they're thick enough that they'll stay up. There might be something to clip these together, who knows. I'm pretty tight on time because I've got to get this thing done. I'm leaving a week from tomorrow for Columbus, Ohio, so I can go to Origins. Again, this game is going to be ran as Vrath, V-R-A-A-T-H. Keep is the name of the actual game that I'm running, but it's Chapter 1 from the Red Hand of Doom. And like I said, there's going to be just a tremendous amount of visual elements in this game. Terrain, painted minis. There's going to be full-scale battle maps that are fully painted. In other words, these that you're seeing here, straight from the book. I've gone in and redrawn them and blown them up, printed them out, put them on foam core board. They're going to be huge. Everybody gets a prize at the end, and it's better than what every single person has usually given out after games. Yeah, and you even have like custom character sheets that are laminated, so you can white erase right on them. They're color coded so that they're easier for beginners to see and identify areas of the character sheet and pick out the information they need to quickly. So if you're interested, if you're going to Origins and you haven't picked up a game yet, believe it or not, there are 3 spots available for it because it is kind of difficult to find, and you're going to have to search under RPGs for Thursday. But don't put it under RPG. I think just put it under Thursday and type in Vrath, V-R-A-A-T-H, and that should bring it up. If you search under RPGs, it won't come up. That's one of the glitches that this wonderful company that runs Origins has done to me. Made it very difficult for people to find stuff. So, all right, yeah, I'm gonna have to go in the back side and fill that in, but that's not that big a deal. So for now, we made a series of walls in 2 hours. It's always fun. This thing is these 3D models take time, especially when I'm narrating instead of just focusing on what I'm doing. And if I have an idea already, instead of coming up with an idea as I'm going along, it goes by a lot quicker. Wednesday, we're going to go ahead and make the other, that is the actual Wrath Keep. That'll be a lot quicker because there's no stonework. It's going to be just plaster or kind of stucco type walls and wood planks, and that's it. Very simple walls, and we'll be done with that. And we'll be wrapped up and get these things printed out, hopefully in time. So, all right. So until then, we're going to be back on live Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, same thing. And this will be the last time we will be broadcasting until the middle of June, which would have been the 18th, because we'll be offline all next week when we travel to Columbus, Ohio to partake at Origins Game Fair. All right. Until then, take care. We'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. This is Simple Polytricks. See ya.